Hi there, my name is Utkarsh Jain and purpose of this video presentation is to understand what methodology is followed for the CFA training at FinTree. So this video presentation is divided into 6 major parts. In the first part, we would understand the CFA exams and then certain niche observation about the CFA exams that we have developed with time. Then we would discuss what is the methodology that is followed at FinTree and what is the success formula. We would look at certain past results that we have achieved. We would look at what study tools are available for CFA exams preparation. And then we would understand who's the trainer and fees and other details. So we would start with the CFA exams. That we know that level 1 and level 2 are multiple choice question exams. And the fact that these are MCQs would itself will tell you that these exams would not necessarily be memory based, but these would be more of a concept based examination. The exams have been focusing more on the conceptual clarity rather than the ability to remember and reproduce formulas. So that is the reason why at FinTree we use a method which is called as no formula training methodology. So in this method, we would, rather than doing a formula, we would do the background behind a formula which would make your understanding clear, and even if you forget the formula on the day of exam, you would still be able to reconstruct it entirely from scratch. The level of difficulty of CFA level 1 has been reducing with time and the level of difficulty has been increasing over the years. So this is our individual observation. So what we feel this is that now the new filter is the CFA level 2 and the level 2 exams are becoming more and more difficult with time. There are certain areas which are given relatively more importance compared to the others, and when we would start preparing, we would also help you identify those areas and prepare those areas strongly than the areas which are not so important relatively. The syllabus is vast and therefore not only the challenge is not only to understand these 10 subjects and understand the concepts, but also the bigger challenge is that how do you reproduce all the 10 subjects on one day of the exam. So the most common question that people face is that a day before the exam, what do I study? Should I study derivatives? Should I study equity? Or should I study financial reporting and analysis? Therefore, we would help you prepare in such a way that a day before the exam, you would not really be required to revise anything. So even if you do not study for the last 3 days before your exam, but if you followed our methodology, you would still feel very, very confident when you approach the exams. And of course, we would also talk about the interlinkage of different subjects with each other. For example, if you do corporate finance, then there are certain areas in your financial reporting and analysis which you would find relatively easier. So when we do training, we make sure that these subjects are properly interlinked. So even if you are doing corporate finance and we feel that there are areas of FRA which need to be covered, we would cover them right on the spot so that your understanding of CF would be better. Let's now discuss about what methodology we follow at FinTree. So we have 3 golden rules that we follow. So the first rule is concept, not formula, and this is the core of the training that we provide here, that we would make sure that you would not really be required to memorize and remember those formulas, because if you do, then you would definitely find it really difficult to apply them on the exam, because on the exams, the questions would always be tricky. They would not check whether you remember the formula, but what would be checked is that whether you know what was the concept and logic behind the formula. The second important rule is that you have to solve a lot of questions, and the way you learn is that you would learn certain concepts, solve a lot of questions, and those questions you would make certain mistakes. So when you make that mistake, you identify that okay, this is where it went wrong. So either it was a silly mistake where there was some small error done, or it was a logical error. And if it was a logical or conceptual error, you would rebuild onto it again, and then again you would solve another set of questions. And then finally, that once you have mastered the curriculum, then you would revise and integrate them in such a way that you don't have to worry about what subject to revise a day before the exam. So let's talk about concepts, not formula. This is the training methodology that we provide, where almost 70 to 80% formulas are not required to be remembered. So we would focus on more on the logic behind each of the formula. And for those candidates who do not have any background in finance, so for example, let us say if you're an engineering candidate, we have a program, we call this as CFA level 0. So in CFA level 0, we cover everything that you need to know before you start with your level preparation. So let us say that you are not good at accounting, or you feel that you are scared of maths, you're not so good at maths. You don't have to worry about it, because level 0 would cover everything in such a fashion that when you start your level 1, you don't have to really worry about those background concepts here. Second one, question solving. Now, how do we achieve this is that we would start your test series right from week 1. So let us say that if we cover some topic, then that test series would you would immediately be tested at the end of the week on the same topic, so that every week we'll give you certain targets, and to motivate you we generally would keep certain sets of competitions. We would disclose your scores on the notice board. So the way we would try to make it more interactive and more motivating, and there would be a lot of question solving that would happen throughout the process. So if you write all the tests that we take at FinTree, by the end of this training program, you would have solved at least 3,500 to 4,000 questions. And if you do that level of questions, there is absolutely no chance why you should not pass CFA level 1 exams in the first go. So these are the number of questions which are covered through various test series. And then finally, revise and integrate. Now what typical strategy we follow is that in the last month, a month before your examination, we would keep, let us say if you're writing your exams on June and the exams is on June 1st. So on May 3rd, we would take a 6-hour comprehensive examination. So once you write this exam, we will give you 3 days in between, wherein you would correct your mistakes and work on your loose concepts again. In these 3 days, you would be given the entire faculty support. Then again on 6th or 7th, you would be required to write one more 6-hour examination. Then you would be given a gap of 2 days, and then again you would write one more 6-hour examination. So the same story would repeat it at least 6 times final month before the exam. So the reason why we do this is that number one, it will ensure that you solve tremendous amount of questions before you approach the final exam. And number two, that if you CFA exams is not only about applying it, but also about getting used to that 6-hour exam format. So before you write the final exam, you've done that exercise 6 times, and therefore there is no reason why you would feel anything new on the day of exam. You're already used to that kind of exam convention. What are our past results? So these are the results that we have achieving, and with time of course our results have improved, because we have understood with experience as to what are the areas which are to be focused, what kind of questions are to be solved, which area of curriculum is to be given more importance. So now there is one small disclaimer here. The typical strategy that we follow is, for example, let us say if you are writing your exam in December, then August 21st in this particular year is the last date to enroll for the exam in the second slab. So what we do is that on August 15th, we would take an exam here, and this exam is called as FAT, FinTree Assessment Test. So on this exam, we would evaluate you both on qualitative and quantitative factors, and depending on the results of the test, we either give you a go or we give you a no. So now if we give you a go, which means that we feel extremely confident about you that you would pass your exams in December, and then you can go ahead and enroll. And if you do that, we are on an average 80% correct about this. But if we give you a no, then what we request you is that you can go ahead and you can enroll yourself probably in the next June exam, so that you would feel more comfortable with your level of preparation. Now we operate on a format which is called as club membership. Meaning of this club membership is that once you enroll for level 1 program at FinTree, the classroom training program, then you can attend those classes unlimited number of times. So what it means is, if you enroll here, you attend this batch, and then you've been asked to write exams in June, you're still allowed to attend this entire session without having to repay your fees. So once you are a club member of level 1, you have a lifetime access to the entire level 1 classes that would be conducted at FinTree. So this is one. Now let's look at what kind of study tools you would be given. So the first one is CFA video lectures. So all the classroom sessions which are done, we record them live, and these video lectures are edited and put on the portal, so that if you feel that you want to revise or there were certain areas that you feel you missed in the class, you can go onto the system, log in with your user ID and password, and you can watch the entire class as it is. Now with these video lectures, we have received excellent feedback, and there are a lot of people, there are a lot of countries in the world where currently these video lectures are being put to use. The second interesting product that you get from our side is called as WhatsApp notes. So the whole idea with these notes is that if you're a working professional, you're not studying all the time. So what you do with WhatsApp notes is that, let us say you study some topic on Sunday and the topic was derivatives. Now next Saturday you're expected to write test on this particular topic. So on Monday morning at 9 o'clock we'll send you a short note on your WhatsApp application which would say that profit potential of call option is, let us say, unlimited. Now at 9:30 we'll send you one more note where we would say maximum loss in case of call option is limited to premium. So the whole idea is that these kind of message would be repeated throughout the day for all the next 5 days. So the concept that you learn in the class, these concepts are continuously bombarded on you throughout the week and it will help you revise on the go. So with these WhatsApp notes, we had certain students who used to commute from long distances. So these people used to revise one entire subject on their mobile phone. How you can also put this to use is, if you take a small break during your working hours, you can open your mobile phone and go through the important concepts. So it will help you revise on the go. 60-minute guide is one big flow chart which covers one subject in one page. So the idea with these is that we use fluorescent colors on 60-minute guides and you can put these posters on your wall. So every now and then when you pass through this area, it will help you remember important concepts through your pictorial memory. So a day before the exam, if you want to revise all the 10 subjects, those subjects can be revised through our 60-minute guides. In our classroom notes, the way we cover is that there is a popular publication or a private publication that we would ask you to study from. But CFA curriculum also covers extremely important parts and some of those parts are not directly covered in these private notes. So what we'll do in this classroom notes is we will identify those areas which are not properly covered in the curriculum and all those notes are given to you directly. So for you, your study material would be number 1, the CFA video lectures, number 2, the question bank which is given to you, and then number 3, those private notes and the notes given to you by the FinTree. And then in the final month, you would be given a question bank which we feel is very close to what you would actually see on the exam. And if you do this question bank seriously and if you solve all the tests that we have taken at FinTree, then you would feel extremely confident before you go and write your CFA level 1 exams. Let's now discuss about the various batch timings that are available. So currently we have 5 different formats in which you can do your training. So we have a separate format which is conducted on Sundays. We have a batch which is conducted on Saturdays. We have a batch which is on weekdays early mornings. We have a batch which is weekdays early evenings. And then we have a completely online format where you would be studying through your CFA video lectures, the one that you're seeing as of now. So this online coaching for CFA level 1 is available at a price of $300. In case of classroom, in Sunday the timing is 9 to 3, Saturday timing is 9 to 3, weekday morning is 3 days in a week which is Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, timing is 8 to 9:30 am, and weekday evening is again 3 days in a week, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, timing is 7:30 to 9 pm. The fees for classroom program is 20,000 plus service tax which is 22,472. So if you are a classroom student, you would get club membership which will give you unlimited access. You would also get the CFA video lectures which are otherwise available at a price of $300. You would also get WhatsApp notes, test series and all other important products that we have developed for your preparation. If you have any further doubts or if you have any further questions, we are reachable on 8888077722. So this is a mobile number, or you can also reach us as 25670-122. Our website is www.fintreeindia.com. This is Utkarsh Jain. Thank you very much.